Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So today we'll be going into types of reactions, grade 11 edition. So there'll be a little bit extra on what you already learned in grade 10, but first let's do a refresher of all 6 reactions as well as a review on what products and reactants are. So let's just give an example here. Na plus Cl equals NaCl. This would be the reactants, and this would be the product. Why? Because these two are the chemicals that are going to react together to produce the product. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's dive into each and every one of these reactions. So many of you should already be very familiar with the synthesis reaction from grade 10 chemistry. So the basic formula is A plus B equals AB. So let's give an example here. Let's say we have magnesium plus oxygen, and we get magnesium oxide. But remember, we need to balance these. Oxygen by itself, diatomic, so it has a 2 here. And since we have 2 oxygens, we must put a 2 here. That means this is 2 magnesium, so we put a 2 here. And now this equation is fully balanced, and we can move on to the next. Decomposition. Same as synthesis pretty much, except the opposite. So AB turns into A plus B. So let's give an example here. We have H2O, some good old water, turns this into hydrogen plus oxygen, and both hydrogen and oxygen are diatomic, so we put A2 there. And we need to balance out this equation, so let's put a 2 here and a 2 here. Next, single displacement, a little bit harder, but you should remember, hopefully. So basic formula is A plus BC equals AC plus B. Remember, you switch the B here with, you switch the A into here and replace the anion in there, or the negative charged element, usually the metals. And this metal, this A here, needs to be more reactive on the metal reactivity chart than this metal for the reaction to occur, because if this one has a lower reactivity than this one, the reaction will not occur. So just keep that in mind, and I'll put the reactivity chart on the screen somewhere for you to see, and you can pause and see if you remember any of them. Okay, let's go into an example. Say we have zinc plus hydrochloric acid, or HCl. We would get zinc chloride plus hydrogen, and since hydrogen is diatomic, we put a 2 here. And now let's just balance out this equation. So there's 2 hydrogens, 2 here, and that should be fine. Yeah, I believe so. Okay, we are good. Next, double displacement. Same thing, except there's actually, I lied, it's not the same thing. So the general formula is AB plus BC equals AC. Oh wait, I lied, sorry, I messed this up. AB plus CD, which will give us AD plus CB, or the other way around, doesn't matter. So how would this reaction occur? A double displacement reaction only occurs if it produces water, gas, or a precipitate in an aqueous solution. If not, then the double displacement reaction will not occur. So here's an example of when it will occur. So we have, let's say, silver nitrite plus sodium chloride, which will give us silver chloride plus sodium nitrite. And we know this, the state, let's put that as solid, because this is the precipitate that forms from this reaction. It forms a cloudy white solid. We will get into a separate lesson on what precipitates are and the stuff all about it in a separate video. So if you would want to watch that, be sure to check it out when it comes up. So next reaction, combustion. The general formula is a hydrocarbon plus oxygen gives us carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide plus water. And let's give an example. So let's get methane, CH4. This is a hydrocarbon, meaning it contains hydrogen and carbon, plus some oxygen. Will give us carbon dioxide plus H2O, but we need to balance this equation, so here, and that is balanced. Okay, moving on to our last one, neutralization. So this reaction occurs when an acid reacts with a base, giving us a salt plus H2O, which is water. So let's give an example here. Let's get hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide. This reaction would give us a salt, which is sodium chloride, table salt, plus H2O. Yep. So that's basically it for reactions. Hopefully this was a good review for you. If you are going into grade 11, this is very important. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. See you next time.